We wish you a furry Christmas. We wish you a furry Christmas. We wish you a furry Christmas.
And a fuzzy new year.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we're anything but straight on space.
I'm Paradox.
And we welcome you to our Christmas special.
Christmas special. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. What other holidays are there?
You know, Kwanzaa is actually a fairly new holiday.
It is.
Yeah, I thought it was
also
more...
It's African as well, I believe.
It's Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, the sweet celebration. That's the only line I know. I don't know any Kwanzaa songs. What else was there?
Happy Yule.
What is Happy Yule?
It's pagan.
I guess. Everything's pagan.
Well, that's kind of true. Well, actually, let's see. Yule officially begins December 21st and lasts until January 1st.
Celebrations.
12 Nights of Yule.
December.
It says Yule is a winter festival historically observed by the Germanic peoples that was... Cat, I swear to goodness.
Oh, there's lots.
That was incorporated into Christmas due to the oh my gosh, the dang Christians. And my cat, excuse me one second. I swear to goodness, get out of the
So there's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Boxing Day, St. Lucia, or St. Lucia. I don't really want to say that one. Wait, what's the difference between Christmas and Christmas Day? What? Google, you're messing with me here. Winter solstice. Merry Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler. Merry Crisis.
Bodhi or Bodhi Day. It's Buddhist, from what I can tell. Yule. And then a bunch of like random, like it's this day or it's that day. National Ambrosia Day. Well, I'm sorry, but ambrosia should not exist. Ugh, gross. International Cheetah Day.
What?
International Cheetah Day.
Cheetah Day, like the cat, the big cat
like,
cheetah.
It just says that it's a day.
International. I'm looking this up.
And there's also Humbug Day.
Humbug Day. Oh, we missed Cheetah Day.
Cheetah. Cheetah. If anyone knows what that's from, you get a gold star. Do you know what it's from?
I don't think so.
What?
I mean, I know the Chia Pet thing.
No,
not the cheetah.
The Cheetah Girls.
Oh,
with Raven Simone.
Yeah, well, I know of the Cheetah Girls. Unfortunately, I never actually watched them.
I don't know. Those ones with like cheetah.
Oh,
you know?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
my wife.
That's all I know of it.
That's okay.
Good
anyway, whichever
Raven
holiday
Simone.
that you celebrate.
Yeah.
Merry Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas.
Now, we did ask in a couple episodes back for you guys to send in your Christmas holiday emails, which we did get 6 of them. Hooray! I was a little worried because of the time crunch, but you guys pulled through. Thank God. And, that happened. So we have that. We also have something that you've decided to come up with last minute.
Battle of the Claus.
Battle of the Claus.
Yes, a ranking of like all of your favorite Santa Clauses. Oh no, I dropped a hot dog.
Why do you have a hot dog?
I don't have a hot dog. My wife made a tiny clay hot dog and I totally dropped it. Babe, I'm sorry. I broke my wiener again.
Did you really break it?
I think I did.
Son of pissed. Did she make it for you?
Yeah.
Oh,
so sad.
Girl.
I dropped the mustard or the mayonnaise that goes on top of it.
True. I dropped my clay wiener.
I did. I dropped my clay wiener. Cat, don't get the clay mustard. No. Oh, God.
We also took to Twitter, and I'm pulling this up right now, to ask you guys, who is your favorite Santa Claus? Got some comments there, too.
Mm-hmm.
I also asked what were some of your favorite holiday presents you've ever wanted in the world. We got some of those. And we even went to Telegrams, and I thought we asked the question on Telegrams. And you did like a hashtag Battle of the Claus, which some people got.
Well, because it was kind of like an afterthought. I was like, oh, wait, I should probably have like a hashtag so I can actually find them because the chat is so active. So if I can just look up Battle of the Claus here.
Wait, was the app from an episode that you and I did on a Fangasms one? Or was it one that I did with...
No, I think it was with you and me because I know that I mentioned that we should have like an app.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, then I thought it was Bix. I came up with that idea. Never mind. Hooray for
Whoop.
us!
Yay!
We should share this real quick. It's actually really cool. So we kind of like put it out there in the world, in the a sphere of people listening to us things. I don't know what that is. The listener sphere, I guess.
The
Whatever.
listeners the muzzle verse.
The Muzzleverse. There you go. I like that.
Mhm.
And we had said that it'd be really cool if we could get someone to like create an app for us where we could have like connections between furries and something of that nature. And I kind of just like, hey, if you're up for it, it's a volunteer effort. None of us get paid to do this. Feel free to reach out to us. I totally didn't think anyone would actually reach out to us. However, someone did. So they just said,
Bah.
I actually discovered your podcast today. I was listening to your most recent episode where you all mentioned being interested in creating an app for connecting furries and possibly releasing your podcast content on. As a software engineer, I'm super interested in this opportunity to help create an app to build a stronger community and connect individuals. I've worked on a few mobile apps in the past and currently do a lot of website development work. I would love to hear more about your ideas for this app and to help it make a reality if possible. Thank you, Ethan. So, mysterious Ethan Hunt. No, it's not Ethan Hunt. I wish. Ethan Hunt, come from my heart. God, he's so hot.
I don't think I know what he looks like. I'll look him up. Go ahead and continue.
You don't know who Ethan Hunt is?
I don't
Mission
know.
Impossible.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. How do you? Oh,
okay. No, I've seen him before. Wait, do you? I don't know. My taste in men is very weird. He's okay, I guess.
I would expect that. You're lesbian.
I mean, that's really debatable, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of debatable at this moment.
I'm actually a pansexual trans person. So
Pansexual. The pansexual.
The pansexual. I mean, the pots in my cupboard, ooh, they get lots of love.
I bet.
Yep.
So this will be really interesting. I am excited to see where this can possibly go. From the very beginning, and when I say the very beginning, I don't mean the very beginning of Straight from the Muzzle. I mean the very beginning of basically when I first started for media, like by myself. Mm-hmm. The idea behind it was to connect furries together, because when you enter the fandom, it's such a giant spaghetti bowl of like opportunity and just people everywhere, but it's really hard to like figure out where to go next. Like, do I create a fur affinity? How do I do that? Where do I find groups? How do I find people? How do I connect? And so it was my first initial idea to create something to bring furries together, to connect them together. And that was the actual like kind of like mission statement for media at the time. And then of course we evolved into podcast form now. But so this is actually really cool. I'm going to respond back to them at some point this week. Probably not tonight, but
just to kind of add to the fur media bit. So like, I remember fur media and I came on, I don't remember when, did you guys like come on like every Sunday or something like that? Like,
it was like Thursday.
I don't remember. It might have been Thursday, but I remember I would get so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was live. It was all live shows. And I would come on and there was a live chat that everybody could like participate in. And it was the coolest thing. And it was honestly like one of the best like experiences for me and really connecting with like the furry fandom and whatnot. So like it honestly has really brought me to this point in time in my life right now, being a host now for Straight from the Muzzle. And it's actually really kind of nice to think about how much I have evolved as a person, how much the podcast itself has evolved. And I think it would be really cool to have some sort of app out there that would kind of go back a little bit to the fur media / Straight from the Muzzle route in connecting everybody.
And it's kind of like, this is like a wild goal. Like I put this out there for myself and for our podcast, but I truly want one day to have different hosts from around the world. So, you know, from different cultures, being able to do or host episodes, but maybe in their own native language. So that way they can reach out to the furs that maybe just don't understand English, or maybe just those who represent their country. And that's kind of like the end game. The ultimate goal for me is to have not just us hosting and our couple of our hosts that we have, but hosts from everywhere around the world. That would just be like the bomb for me.
True.
It would be so amazing. It would be so cool because you have so many different people working together. and they're all doing their own perspectives and they're representing their country and their culture. And it just seems like such a really unique idea. I haven't been able to quite figure out how to do it yet. The only person that I really have that is across the seas is Deer Dog.
Yeah.
But one day we will cover the globe and we will dominate the podcast universe for furries.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
We will dominate.
So let's get into our... Oh, did I undo that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Write this burp. Ah, damn it. I lost it. Ah, poop.
It was a ghost burp.
I'm drinking a Diet Coke. I should have been able to burp.
Don't worry, Space. I got you covered.
Write that in, that burp right there, as usual. Let's go to our Twitter real quick and just kind of look at some of the answers that someone gave us. So I did ask on the 10th of December, what Christmas holiday present have you ever wanted in the whole world? So from Stone Fox, they said to get any type of game console for Christmas. I never did get one. I just bought my own. Also, world peace. So when they said that, the first thing that popped in my head, not necessarily what the girl says, like, you know, my kind of date would be. It's Sandra Bullock's response to Stan. He's like, what's the most important thing in society? And she's like, that would be harsher punishment for parole violators, Stan. And then she's like,
dead silence.
And world peace.
Yes.
Which is what I responded back with, and it was just so great. So such a great movie.
Well, see, that's the movie that inspired the wedding date for my wife and I, so April 25th. So
go ahead and quote it. I know you want to.
Oh my gosh. Describe your perfect date. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th because it's not too hot and not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
The funny thing is like answers like that do exist in Miss United States competitions. So from the round Dragon Wolf, I'm going to go ahead and say more oversized fursuits. So I guess the question that begs is, how many oversized fursuits do you have? And can we see a picture of them?
Oversized how?
Oh, there we go. I got it. It wasn't that big of a burp, but it was still good. Rate that burp.
Like a 4.
Nice. Out of 10. So it was weak.
Yeah.
I'll try next time. From Josh Wolf, a real life hoverboard skinned like the
Marty McFly.
Yeah, uses in the Back to the Future 2. What does that smell? It smells like super glue.
Super glue?
I'm having that weird smell again.
Are you having a stroke? Do I have to?
No, it's not Toast. No, he's probably, I don't know, he's probably doing something. But it smells like, you know that weird smell you get when you like super glue something?
Yeah.
It smells
like
weird,
that. Like plasticky-ish smell.
Last week we had this issue where I kept thinking I kept smelling like beefaroni or burnt like dog food through the vents. So it's just an ongoing thing apparently.
I mean, you do live in a condo? Yes.
Yeah, we live in the bottom level condo. So when someone flushes from above us or even 2 stories above us, we hear it all the way down here. It trickles down through the wall like a rain stick. That's what it sounds like.
You just hear people's poop sliding down the wall.
Oh my God. It's like banging on the pipes. Help me, I'm drowning. Save me. I don't know where that came from.
Oh my gosh.
From SMT Zap. For both sides of my family to finally share a dinner together.
Oh.
And a complete collection of Calvin and Hobbes comic strips. I love Calvin and Hobbes. That is my absolute favorite comic strip. I do have some books.
It's so cute.
It is. From Luca Allister, when I was a child in Canada in the early 90s, I think one Christmas present I enjoyed the most was the Snow Racer. It was a plastic sled you could sit on with a steering wheel and snow brakes, and it was endorsed by the famous hockey player at a time, Brad Hall. I don't play hockey, so I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is, but like that sounds really cool. A snow racer?
Let's
I'm
look
looking
this
it
up.
up.
Brad Hall Snow Racer. Oh,
Oh.
is it like a bobsled then? Oh, okay,
Kind
I
of.
see what it is.
Oh, okay.
Those
Cool.
things. Oh, interesting.
That's
I feel
really
like I would
cool.
just crash one of those.
That's so cool.
And then I
Ooh.
commented, I've always wanted Power Wheels, but I never got them. And you don't know what Power Wheels are. They're basically like child versions of cars that we drive today, but they take like ridiculous amounts of battery. It takes like 6 hours to charge. They last for
Those.
20 minutes. That's about it. Yeah.
So I always wanted one as a kid, but now that I'm an adult, they have Halo Warthog ones, and I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, do they
I'm
really?
like, yes. Oh my God, it's the coolest thing. Oh, I'm like so jealous. I'm like, these kids get everything. Like, what
I
the
want to see
heck?
this.
Oh, it's so cool.
Warthog
Like,
Power Wheels.
yeah, it is so cool. I'm like, how dare? I'm like, these kids don't even know. They weren't even thought of. I've been there since the
Oh, that
beginning.
is so cool looking.
It is. It's so cool.
These kids just have no
Just
idea
do not cite the deep magic to
how
me, which
good they
I
have
was there
it.
when it was written. It's
So
so
that
cool.
was that post. Let me go back up a little bit here. That sausage bun is so cute looking.
A sausage?
Bun. A sausage bun. Get it right.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sending it to you so you know. It's by Silver Fox. I love Silver Fox.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
It's like pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
Except it's a fox or a cat or something.
Okay, you actually asked this question. What is your favorite Santa Claus? For any movie, TV special, or commercial, who is your favorite? Let us know as we determine which Santa reigns supreme. The results will be discussed during our upcoming holiday special episode.
Yeah. So I had this suggestion literally the other day, and I was like, oh, I really wish I would have thought about this, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when we were discussing like doing this holiday special. And it just kind of occurred to me. And I guess the stem of the idea came from watching a couple Christmas movies recently, and I'm like, man, this Santa Claus would like rip this Santa Claus apart in a battle. And I'm like, hold on, what if we asked the general public, or like, mostly our fans on Facebook, Twitter, and Telegram and whatnot, what their favorite Santa Claus is, or like who they think like is the best like represented Santa. So, and I kind of realized again, like this was a little bit of a late idea. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get enough of like a tier pool or like a, like a poll. So I took it upon myself at work. I took a piece of paper and a pen, and I wrote on the top of this paper, I'm going to unfold it right now. So
I
on
can't
top
wait
of this
to hear
paper,
this.
oh, I'm so excited. So on the top of this paper, I said, who is your favorite Santa? And I didn't have anything written on there like movie wise or people. I just started asking my customers. Like it was I kind of made it into a game. Like the random customers that would come through my line, they were just completely unsuspecting. They would just come in, and I would straight up, I would just be like, oh man, you came through my line. That means you get to be asked a Christmas question. I said, so here it is. I said, who do you think is your favorite Santa Claus from any Christmas movie or TV special? Maybe it's a commercial. Tell me your favorite. I'm like, who's the favorite Santa? And then they would sit there and they would think, and they actually gave me an answer. I'm not kidding. I asked almost every single customer and coworker that came through my line. And I got some really interesting and kind of a surprise answer that I'll reveal at the end. But like, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys what it is. So
Let's go for it. I want to hear these.
all right. I will wait. I'll wait and do like the number 1 spot and the number 2 spot towards the end. But I'll go ahead and I'll say, so at 6 votes, there was the Santa Claus from the movie Elf. There is 1 vote for the Santa Claus in the movie Klaus from Netflix. There were 3 for Christmas Chronicles, so Kurt Russell Santa, which I would like to discuss him here in a second because I recently just watched the Christmas Chronicles.
There's
both
nothing
1
to
and 2.
discuss. He only got 3 votes.
No, he's my favorite, and I'll tell you why. Anyway. Space is so mean. So, two votes for the John Travolta commercial. Oh, Krampus. He's on here too. But the John Travolta commercial got 2 votes. Polar Express Santa Claus got 2. Rise of the Guardians, the Russian Santa, got 2. The classic Santa Claus is Coming to Town got 2 votes. 5 votes for the Santa Claus from A Christmas Story. You know, the one that's pushing the kid down the slide and going.
Yes! That was savage.
I had 3 from the Santa Claus from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I had one person say Macy's Day Parade Santa, which I was like, okay, well, whatever. I had 2 from Santa's Sleigh, which I believe is a horror film. 3 people say the Grinch dressed as Santa was their favorite. 5 people say Bad Santa was their favorite. The Santa Claus from Ernest Saves Christmas was 1. Fred Claus got 2. Silent Deadly Night got 1. Krampus got 2. And
Silent Deadly Night?
yes, which I guess is also a horror film.
What about Violent Night Santa Claus?
Not a single person said Violent Night, and I was so upset. I
Dude,
know.
It's freaking Santa Claus beating the shit out of all these other people and killing them and just, oh my God, how dare you. And
I'm going to have to watch it.
I've never watched it either, but I've just seen commercials and I'm just like, damn, I want that Santa.
You want that Santa?
Yeah.
The one Santa Claus from Home Alone, there was 1 vote there. And I think, honestly, my most favorite response is actually from 2 sweet little old ladies who I asked. I'm like, so who do you think your favorite Santa is? And both of them were like, my husband.
Oh.
It was so cute. I'm like, oh, well, that's not a Christmas movie or special, but I'll accept it. I'm like, how cute.
Okay, let me just do a rewind real quick here, folks. What you didn't know is that I was flailing my arms on my end, talking, and I threw my arm down and it hit a wire and it knocked my jack out of the computer and it stopped our recording and we had to start all over again. But we're not starting all over. We're just picking up from where we left off. So,
oh, I appreciate it.
pull the space and we're good.
He just felt the Christmas spirit so strongly. He just had to flail a minute, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we were going through this list, I think I went through everything. We just have the quote unquote the winner of our like Christmas little thing, and also like the second in place. However, I know that there was a few that were listed on the Twitter and the Telegram, which I think I might do those first before we actually, run the numbers and whatnot, say the winner. So on Telegram, I did put a hashtag called Battle of the Claws, but I'm going to go ahead and go through that right now. Let's see. Battle of the Claws.
Gunter.
Why are we Guntering?
I just thought he needed to be here.
Gunter. I mean, he's a penguin. Very, wintry, Christmas.
Very, very wintry, yes.
Very wintry. Okay, so let's see. We go all the way up here. So I put out the same sort of thing that I put out on Twitter, which is, who's everybody's favorite Santa from movie, TV commercial, what have you. So Alabaster on Telegram says Christmas Colonel Sanders was the first that came to their mind. I don't think I've ever seen Christmas Colonel Sanders. I'll have to look him up here in a second. I know that Krampus was mentioned in my list, which I'll have to add that because I think 2 were mentioned. It might have been 3. Let me look at it. So this could be actually 4. Oh, numbers. Let's see. Krampus on my original list. Oh, yep, it was 2. So we'll just add 3. So we have 3 for Krampus. Silvermead liked Krampus. Gably said that the elf Santa the Santa from the movie Elf was his favorite.
He doesn't do anything. He's just
I think
Santa Claus.
Well, see, I think that's what some people liked is that he just was there. He just was the Santa, I guess the stereotypical Santa that you would I guess imagine maybe, whereas for example, and somebody actually brought up this. So for example, Tim Allen in the Santa Claus, people are like, well, yeah, it's more like a comedy. It's more funny, whatever. And they're like, but I like, this specific Santa that's I think if I were ever to see Santa, that would be him. And I'm like, I mean, I guess, but I think the whole point is also make Santa feel more human. And I think movies like the Santa Claus and also Christmas Chronicles and stuff I think it makes Santa feel more real, feel more human because I don't know. I just don't think I would want
Didn't someone mention Miracle on 34th Street?
So yes, that is on the list, but I'll tell you that there's a reason why I didn't mention it. So, un momento. So let's see. Okay, so yes, we do have a Lobolito on Telegram says the Edmund Gwynn from the original Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah, see, so they also say that this is how I would want Santa Claus to be. He's not just a jolly old man. He's an intellectual gentleman capable of explaining something as silly as playing pretend with the sophistication of one of the Greek philosophers. Truly one of the greats. Okay, cool. So see, again, that was something that was brought up a lot yesterday too when I asked my customers and stuff like that. Like a lot of people were saying that the Miracle on 34th Street was like a more quote unquote authentic Santa. So that was kind of neat. Space, you said you were going to throw in the sexy and ripped Santa from Violent Night. So I think you were the only one that put Violent Night in the list. Oh,
Apparently.
you also mentioned Jack Skellington as Santa from Nightmare Before Christmas.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool. I just don't. I cannot get into.
He's the Pumpkin King as Santa Claus with his weird spider legs.
His weird spider legs.
Yeah.
No, it's true. I think I watched it like once as like a kid, and maybe I need to watch it more as an adult. Like maybe I'll have a better appreciation for it. But like that one, it's just not. It doesn't groove well with me. Speaking of actually Jack Skellington, so currently my wife is playing a Disney game called Dreamlight Valley, and she's terrorizing Jack Skellington right now, just spinning around in circles. It's quite comical.
Isn't Dreamlight Valley like a racing game?
No, that is Speedstorm, I think, the Disney Disney racing game. That is also new and I think is free to play. But Disney Dreamlight Valley, you make your own character and like unlock different characters from different worlds. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts, but without the violence. So,
all right.
But anyway, so I think that was all from the Telegram, I believe. If I missed any of you, I'm so sorry. I think I've got everybody. And then on our Twitter.
Oh, we're going back to Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, we're going back to Twitter. We're going back to Twitter. Let's see. So we got 4 replies from Twitter. Like I said, it was a last minute thing, so I didn't really expect like a whole lot. My fault. So somebody said Bill Goldberg as Santa in Santa's Sleigh.
Ruby said that
Ruby.
One.
Yep, Ruby said
never
that one.
Seen that one.
I have never seen that one either. Again, I think it might be.
Is it too late to throw in Gandalf? I mean, he kind of like Santa.
So one that I'm surprised is not on the list is actually the Santa Claus from Narnia. The first Narnia movie, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That was a good Santa. Like, that was really cool. I really liked that one as a kid. And like, it's not really a Christmas movie per se, but like, it was really cool.
Oh no, it's definitely a Christmas movie.
Just because
I think it came out during Christmas.
It did. It came out in just. Let me look it up real quick because honestly, the Chronicles of Narnia, like the first movie, amazing. The second movie with Prince Caspian was also good. The third movie, I don't talk about that one because that one's terrible. So, Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. When did it come out? Because I remember seeing it in 2005.
If you watch the acting, if you rewatch the first movie, it is pretty bad acting.
Shh, it's okay. I liked it. December 9th. So yeah, it did come out in December. So that was that. But anyway, that's again just something I was surprised was not on the list. But anywho, so let's see. News? Is that how you say their name? News a mess? I don't know.
Slushy Flamingo.
There we go with that. Slushy Flamingo on Twitter says that theirs was an NPC from a video game called Bully. It's in the 3rd chapter. And I guess the Santa Claus's name is Rudy. So I have not played Bully, but I've heard some pretty good things about it. They're saying that it's pretty fun. But that's
also a really bad game. It's not a bad game because it's bad. It's a bad game because it's
on the naughty list.
It's just it's a bad game.
It's called Bully for a reason. You literally play as like a school bully. It's an old Rockstar game. So anyway, Dawn Fox says Tim Allen from the Santa Claus movies. And then SMT Zap is Krampus. My wife is always threatening to sick Krampus on people. She's just funny.
Hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I see. Yeah. I'm going to tell her that right now. Wife, Space says that Krampus is hot. Or the idea that you sicken Krampus on people is pretty sexy.
No, it's Krampus that's hot.
Oh, it's Krampus that's hot?
I mean, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind watching Krampus torture other people too. Like, I mean, just like, but that's a totally different episode for After Darkness.
You too, Gerald. Oh my gosh,
I'm too Gerald. Is that what she said?
She's listing people that she would sick Krampus on, which is my father, whose name is Jerry. She calls him Gerald. Anyway, which brings us to the who actually quote unquote won vote wise. So we have the Santa Claus who came out as number 1. So Tim Allen got a total of, got 30 votes. for
Wow.
number. I know. It was not really a surprise because honestly, the Santa Claus, like the movies and also now TV show that's on Disney Plus, it's kind of really become like a classic. Like it's the movie that a lot of people are very familiar with as being the quote unquote like Santa. All the movies are great. I don't have too much of a problem with them. The third one gets a little off kilter, but that's okay. The Disney Plus special, I should say. There's actually now a second season, which I haven't seen. I have seen the entirety of the first one. Does really delve into the Santa Claus like lore, which I have a theory on the Santa Claus lore in that aspect. But before I get into that, the second place runner up is The Miracle on 34th Street, which had a total of 18 votes.
Oh.
So it had 18 votes, so that made it the number 2 slot.
Not bad.
Not bad, which like I said, a lot of like I noticed that a lot of like your older folk voted that one. And again, that was like an older classic. And like the Santa Claus was most voted from like your more younger millennial crowd. So there's that. But a real quick sort of side tangent-ish, not really, but back to the Santa Claus. My theory is that the Santa Claus itself, like the spirit of the Santa Claus, is actually a parasite. Hear me out.
That's weird.
It is weird. Hear me out. So the Santa Claus needs a host in order to be a Santa Claus because if one Santa Claus dies, it latches onto the nearest thing. The
Which
nearest
would make
person
sense for the Santa Claus movies.
Yes. So it latches on like to the nearest, like, Santa Claus, the best known candidate that's closest by, like, boom. And you can't get rid of it because in like the first movie, he's like, well, I don't know what's happening to me. I grow a beard in seconds, even though I just shave it off. My hair's becoming white. He can't stop it. So it's literally, it's a parasite and it kind of feeds off of Christmas cheer and everything. So in the Santa Claus movies, depending on how much like, believing there is and how much, Christmas spirit there is, it kind of, raises his power or weakens it. As a parallel, this because, and I have to mention it because it's kind of become a favorite now because I don't know what's came over me, but like with the Christmas Chronicles movies and Kurt Russell being Santa Claus, that is one sexy Santa, like for one. But for two, power wise, oh, Kurt Russell Santa would wipe the floor with Tim Allen Santa if we were going for like the actual Battle of the Claws, decking halls and whatnot.
But what if, just hear me out, what
Okay.
if Santa Claus is the equivalent to Doctor Who?
Ooh, you know what? That's a good theory.
Yeah.
Huh. That could work.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, if you got to really think about it, right? So parasite idea seems like a good one, but here's the thing. Doctor Who can really literally travel in time at any given point, be gone for 20 minutes, but only really be gone for like 1 second. And Santa Claus has to get around the freaking, world in 24 hours. How does one do that without stopping time?
That is true. That is true. So that is explained in both. I'm just going to put a purposeful war on this on Tim Allen and Kurt Russell. So the both of them explain it, and I think both of them explain it very similarly, if I remember correctly. I think Tim Allen just really relies on just pure speed, whereas Kurt Russell, he relies on literally jumping through wormholes, which is kind of interesting, but also he has this interesting ability of how to like, so in the Santa Claus, they transform like anything into a chimney and like a fireplace where, Tim Allen, drops down into, just transforms magically, which that's really cool. Freaking Kurt Russell, he actually like evaporates into like a magic dust and like just poofs himself into a house if it doesn't have like a chimney. But if he's going into a chimney, he like slam dunks like into a chimney and like just yeets the presents down into there, and it's kind of cool. But also the spirit meter or whatever, like belief meter, again, as I mentioned in the Santa Clauses, they were like, if it's not really, believe, like if like the belief meter is down, Tim Allen's like, oh no, Christmas is ruined, I'm so sad, like, oh god, if there's no Christmas spirit, I die, and so the elves, they don't have a job anymore and they'll cease to exist, like Christmas itself will quote unquote stop. Now, Kurt Russell was like, well, actually, there's been several times where Christmas spirit has been way down. And anytime that happens, war breaks out. And there's nothing that I can really do until, it kind of sorts itself out. Or in some of the instances in the movie, he'll be like, all right, Christmas spirit's down a little bit. I'm going to go out here and perform a concert. And then Christmas spirit's just up. Like, he just skyrockets. He's like, all right, that's fixed. Moving on. So,
wow.
It's pretty neat.
That's interesting.
So that's our Battle of the Santas, I guess. So, but here, as a popular vote, Tim Allen does win with a runner-up of Miracle of 34th Street.
Sweet.
Maybe next year we'll do favorite reindeer.
Or just favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah, that too. Christmas movie.
Or we can make fun of Hallmark movies.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can we? Yes.
Can we? I think we should.
We should.
Because they're so bad.
They are terrible.
Hallmark, if you guys don't know, Hallmark movies all follow like the same 10 rules, the same formula, and it's so ridiculous. And they pump out like Hallmark movies left and right like it's nobody's business. Yeah, that's weird.
That is funny.
Before we go into our emails and, kind of go into the end of our episode itself, we didn't really get to talk about what Christmas means to us, to you and me specifically. Christmas for me is a very special time of year. It is the one year where people actually give a crap and come together under many different circumstances. It's when you're supposed to spend time with friends and family. And of course, if you don't have family, then you spend with friends. And some people might even think they may not have friends, but look, you're in the furry fandom. You have friends everywhere. And I'm reminded that almost every day I've got a good friend that I've been kind of starting to gain a good relationship with in the Straight from the Muzzle chat. And then it kind of has, delved outside of that chat as well. I'm giving a shout out to Gably Lugnut. He's just a really awesome, over the moon kind of a guy. He's just so positive and he checks in every day without fail. He's like, good morning, how you doing? And then even at night, he's like, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a good evening. I mean, the guy literally is just like an Energizer bunny of positive energy. And it's been a long time since I've seen that. I've had some friendship issues as of late. But I'm reminded that even though maybe my physical friendships may not be that great, my online friendships with those that I've met through the chat and through this podcast are pretty strong. And I'm kind of relying on those to kind of get me through the Christmas season. And it's beautiful. I absolutely just love it. I love that I've gained more relationships with others. I've loved that Paradox, you and I have been able to host more and off, together. It kind of creates a new bond, makes the bond a little bit stronger. Overall, I'm just grateful for this year. I'm grateful that our podcast has gone so far, that it's touched a lot of people's lives. Tons. We get emails every month of someone saying, you've changed my life because of this or that. And it really does strike a chord with me. And I do sometimes cry with joy because it's just so overwhelming, because we never know who we really touch. We don't really know whose lives we actually make, a dent on or something until you guys email into us. And then when you do, it's just so goddamn beautiful. And I can't really think of any other words to describe it, but I just wanted to thank all of you for that. And Merry Christmas.
I will cry.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. That was cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I honestly, I feel relatively the same way. Before I forget to mention this, but same for me. I have made so many great connections. I also have been talking to Gabby a lot, and he's amazing. So like you said, a very positive person. Really does check in on you every day. It's since we've talked, he's such a cool person, and just so excited and so passionate. And it's so cool to be able to connect with just people, with through this podcast and whatnot, and really just talk to people, get to know them. And they're really just so excited to talk to us and be hey, you've really changed my life, or my perspective on something. And it's it really makes me sit back and it's wow, we did that. We, at some shape or form, we really have touched, a lot of people's lives. And, people do listen in every week or however often, we post an episode, and it's not just me. It's you Space, it's also Sparrow, and it's Dear Dog, everybody on the team, Crow, that make this all possible. And we've all at some shape or form have, like really just touched, somebody out there just with our podcast. And it's great, just with our silly antics. What Christmas means to me, it kind of has grown in its definition, or at least, I guess, evolved over the years, especially with most recent events. These past couple years, I want to say at least 3 years for me, have been kind of a roller coaster. So last year was kind of rough. And at the same time, it was also a little easier than this year. And the reason why is because, fortunately / unfortunately, without getting into too much detail, I kind of went no contact with my mom and unfortunately with my sister due to a lot of reasons, which again, I won't get into, but just the bare minimum here. So last Christmas, I didn't see my mom or my younger sister, which kind of sucked. But like on the same aspect, it was so quiet. It was such a quiet and like nice and minimally stressful holiday last year. And like this year's been a little bit more stressful because I kind of have gotten more in contact with my mom and whatnot, and kind of trying, quote unquote, trying to make that reconnection. And it is still hard, but I am kind of deep down I'm kind of thankful that I do get to spend Christmas potentially like with my mom this year, and also like my sister, who I am reforming that bond with. So like, I don't know, just, I guess, trying to reform bonds and really trying to spend time with like family and friends. Just this past weekend, my wife and I, we spent some time with some friends we haven't seen in quite a while, and it was really nice to see them. Got some great news. I'm going to be an uncle. So hooray.
Yay.
Yay. Because one of our two of our friends are expecting a baby, which is fantastic. I'm super excited for them. But I guess in short terms, what Christmas means to me is that it's less about like the presents and everything like that. Like, honestly, I don't need anything. I don't need anything, and I don't really want anything. All I want is to just spend time with friends and family and have fun, eat food, laugh, play games. And that's all I want. And that, honestly, that right there to its core is what Christmas is. And I am happy to, I guess, realistically, like through this podcast, like kind of provide that sort of positive energy and positive spirit, through just our silliness, like over the podcast to other people. And again, just, touching other people's lives. So it's been very humbling, and it's been just quite an honor to do this. I am so happy to be doing this and be here right now in this space.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. I also like a somewhat side tangent. I'm going to mention that I also have a TikTok, and somebody had actually reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, were you at this convention like this past Saturday or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I was. Why?" And they were like, "Oh my God, I saw you. I wanted to say hi, but I was so scared." And I'm like, "Oh my God," I didn't know what to say. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, "You could have totally come up and said hi." I'm like, "You could have totally," I'm like, "Seriously, if any of you see me out in the wild, come say hello. Come say hello. Get a high five. Get a hug. Like, come say hi to me." I will never be like that kind of person that's like, quote unquote, a celebufer or something, and be like, "Ugh, people." No, if you see me out in the wild and you want to get a hug, or like, just say, "Hey, talk for a minute," I'm totally down. Like,
I'll never see myself as a celebufer or a poppyfer.
I know. I don't really see myself as a celebufer either. I'm just a person, really. Yeah. I'm just
we're just like you guys.
Yep.
With a passion, and we just want to turn it into something, and it has turned into something.
Yep. Yep.
I love giving, and I love volunteering my time, which is probably why I would rather give than receive. So
Same.
I love, like, for instance, for Christmas, I'm kind of just checking off like the list of things that my husband kind of like listed as what he wanted for Christmas. And I'm just kind of going through them all and just checking them off. I'm like, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. I don't know if I really got any presents under my tree. I didn't really specify what I wanted because I kind of have everything I want. I've got a husband, I've got a roof over my head, I've got good friends, I've got a good job, I've got a car that goes from here to there. Like, I don't know, what more could I really need, And so I don't know. I'm not like super excited for Christmas Day for me to get presents. I'm super excited for Christmas Day to see Felix's reactions to the presents that I've gotten to him. I really do like give a lot of thought into each and every single one. When I get it, how I'm going to wrap it, what it's going to look like just everything is perfectly thought out. So I'm really excited to give. That's what I like doing, is giving. So yeah, let's get into our emails before any of us starts to really cry.
We just have a cry sesh in the middle of the recording.
The thing is sometimes that's how it is.
Sometimes it's needed. Sometimes you just need to cry.
I mean, when was the last time you listened to a furry podcast where it felt so real for you that you actually made a connection with the host, like one of us, and actually felt like, oh my God, he gets me. Like, he gets me. Like, when was the last time you actually got that? I don't know other podcasts.
I don't know.
I don't listen to other podcasts. I'm not really sure what the content they're producing, but I know the content that we're producing is 100% good content. It's wholesome.
It's genuine.
It's genuine. Yeah. And so I just don't know what else or who else, where else you could really get that, you know? So if you're getting that experience from us, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
There's your present from me to you.
You get genuine good content, but for real, I mean, it's like you said, most other podcasts, they do run off of like a script and, you know, you say this and this person says that.
Lots of editing and
yeah, like, but we, you know, we just
there's lots of editing in ours too.
Oh yeah. Which thank you, Crow.
Thank you, Crow.
Thank you, Crow, to all that you do. You are so loved and you are heard, and I love the crap out of you, man. You're great. Thank you for chiming in the way that you do. That's always, you know,
it's been fun
time. It has been fun.
Thank y'all. I appreciate the acknowledgement. It is a pleasure to get to work on the show with all the different hosts as well.
So our first email comes from Cinnamon Roll, and they said, Cinnamon Roll. I just saw this Christmas announcement and I wanted to share a story. At the Christmas party that was on my house. On my house or in my house?
Probably in the house.
In my house.
At my house?
At my house, maybe. I was pretty small at the time and I was like 7. I was thirsty and wanted some soda. So I obviously took a beer bottle, mistakenly thinking that it was a fancy soda that adults drink. I took a little bit, but my dad saw me and he told me it was beer. I'm traumatized now. My cousin saw me, and 7-year-old me, I was going to die the next day because I had beer. I've never pardoned him, and I'm not thinking to do so. Wait, what? Pardon him, and I'm not thinking
maybe
to
never
do so.
like I never forgive them.
Oh, I'll never forgive him.
Yeah.
Goodbye and Merry Christmas from Cinnamon Roll. So the thing is, like with like Christmas like parties and stuff, the one thing that I didn't know is that eggnog is traditionally spiked. I've never known that, but I was never allowed to drink it until, you know, I grew up, and then I'm just like, what are you talking about? Eggnog, you know, it comes from a carton. There's no way it's spiked, but apparently it is a tradition to like spike it with, I don't know what you spike it with, like vodka or something.
Probably like whiskey or something.
Oh, okay. I could see that. Yeah.
Well, because like, I mean, if you get good whiskey, it has like a vanilla-y, nutty flavor.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like it would pair well, I think, with eggnog. I'm gonna look it up. What do you spike eggnog with?
John Wick.
John Wick.
Which, by the way, is coming back. John Wick Chapter 5, baby.
Woo.
I'm excited.
Oh, okay. So dark rum or cognac.
Ooh, cognac. I love that you call it cognac.
Is that not what it's called?
No, it's cognac.
Cognac.
I thought you were making fun of it like I do with, instead of saying champagne, I say champagne. I never call it by its real thing.
No, I did not. Okay, this is how you can tell I don't drink.
I'll take some of that fancy Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir. Oh my God, no.
Gosh.
Oh, shoot.
You're next.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna let me see. It is. This one comes with pictures. I get the.
Oh, we know this person.
Yeah.
They just responded to one of our. Let me go to our tweets here so I can tell you exactly who they are.
The tweeter.
The tweeter.
Tweeter, not the X. It's the tweeter. Always tweeter.
Stone Fox, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Stone Fox? Yeah, I think it's Stone Fox.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, it's yours. Take it away.
Okay, so it says, hello, Space and Friends. My name is Stone. He is a marble fox, or his persona is. It says, one Christmas tradition that we used to have in my family is every year on Christmas Eve, my grandfather would read the story of Christ's birth. So it says, ever since my grandfather's passing in 2020, I'm so sorry, that's so sad. It says, I have been the one to read the story every year. says, every time I've read the story, I have felt like my grandfather was there listening as well. That is a tradition that I hold very near and dear to my heart. In my opinion, traditions can be very important, especially if they hold some kind of deeper meaning to them. Anyways, I hope that you and all of your family have an amazing holiday season and a happy new year. It says below are 2 pictures of one of me in my fursuit and not going outside because it's too wet, and one of the amazing Christmas art commissions that they got from Nicotina, I think. I'm going to say, yeah, Nicotina on Toy House. So
It's Toy House.
Toy House is a
Like an art platform?
Yeah, it's like an art platform, Toy House. So it's kind of like you have to get like an invite code, so it's kind of like Blue Sky, but it's yeah, it's kind of anyway, but people sell their art. You can make files of different characters and they, whatever. So
a community for collaborative character creation and trading, world building, and role play. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that is cool. I like that you read.
We have traditions in our family. Like, for instance, Felix doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to do it either this week or next week. It's always been a tradition in our family to drive around and look at Christmas lights. I don't know how often people do it, but I was talking with a nurse the other day and they're like, oh yeah, we've mapped it out. And I'm like, oh, you got to go to Draper. They have like the best lights, like this one particular neighborhood. And then I stopped and I'm like, I just want to thank you that you are doing this, because I don't know how many people actually like take their families out and go Christmas light watching and stuff. It's so cool to see that people are still doing that tradition. Mm-hmm. The other one is where we open up a Christmas Eve present. It's usually a small one. Usually has to do with like pajamas or whatever, and then everything else gets opened up on the next day. So
that's cute.
It's generally what we do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess a Christmas tradition. I can't talk. That we do is so instead of having like a really big like meal, like the ham and mashed potatoes and all basically the rinse and repeat from Thanksgiving, we actually do tacos. And the reason that we do is because several years ago, my mom was complaining about making Christmas dinner, blah, 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 and saying, about everything about, oh, well, the cleanup and all that. It's just so much work. And then I was very young and I was like, well, why don't we just do tacos? And my mom was like, oh, well, that's ridiculous. We can't have tacos for Christmas. Now, this is when my grandparents were alive, and we happened to be at my grandparents' house. And my cute little 90-some-year-old grandma was like, oh, I love that idea. I love tacos. Let's do tacos. And every year since, we have done tacos.
That's so cool.
I know. So it's kind of like a Christmas tradition that like I made up, kind of, but like it's become like in honor of like my grandma, who I miss her every day. Like she loved Christmas. Christmas was her favorite time of year. So like tacos for Christmas because grandma said it was okay. So so that's like the one Christmas tradition that we do. We sometimes do the open something on Christmas Eve. I would like to potentially do that, but I'm not sure what we might do. I can't say too much because my wife is behind me.
Oh, okay.
She's squinting at me. I love you over there.
Our next email comes from, I don't want to say their names. I'm just going to initial or abbreviate their name and call them AB.
AB.
They said, I don't know if this even counts as a tradition, but for Christmas, we would do this Christmas thing where we would go to church that starts at 12 a.m. and ends at 2 a.m. Cry face.
That's terrible.
I'm not even Catholic. I'm Wiccan, but I still go because if I don't, my family was all like, but you're destroying our family. But yeah, on Christmas, I'm going to try and replicate the Therian howl because I'm Therian and I'm good at vocals. We also let our cats open their Christmas gifts first. We just put a little catnip on them and they tear it up.
That's cute.
Anywho, thank you so much for reading and I hope you have a great holiday. And then they followed up and they said, oh, also, happy December 1st. And I literally sent this on December 1st. And said, for all Therians, because Therians around the world are going to wear their gear and or their, I'm not sure what this is, a Thea Delta on their bodies and do a howl to find other Therians. So I'm not sure what a Therian howl is.
I want to do a Therian howl.
But I do know someone who is Therian. We had them as a guest, and I can definitely ask them what a Therian howl is. So that's cool. Ooh. That is a tradition. It's a weird one. But it's it's 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. That is something else. We'll just say that.
No.
No, thank you.
Ain't nobody doing that. That's like it's like waiting for the Virgin Mary to give birth. It's like, have you done it yet? I'm freezing.
We get this next long one just for you.
Oh yeah, yay! Just for me. Let's see.
Oh, T-Zap.
Jesus, this is really long. Oh my god. Actually, it's not too bad. So this is from.
You can do it.
What do you do? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. My wife just gave me my rings that I guess I took off and forgot to put back on. So, whoops, we're gonna slide those back on real quick. So, this is from T-Zap. Says, "Hey, hope everyone is having a good Christmas by the time you guys start reading the emails." Says, "My name is Silver or T-Zap, and my persona is Roth and Opossum, and have been in the fandom for around 3 years now. And they include a picture of their persona, which is pretty darn cool. Opossum personas are just dope. I like seeing anything that's not in the general public norm." It says, "Anyways, on to the Xmas stuff, even though I much prefer Halloween." Same, I do like Halloween. It says, "My family comes from Mexico City on my mom's side, and I do not know how to say that."
Where is it?
Guadalajara. Oh, okay, thank you. Guadalajara on my dad's. It says, "We don't usually do much on my dad's side, but on my mom's, we have something called..." Oh, thank you.
So it's probably Rosa de Reyes.
Thank you, Rosa.
Or Rosca, or it could be Rosca. They do put parentheses on
Rosca de Reyes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also known as King's Cake. It's essentially a big old fruit cake that is usually eaten on January 6th for the Christian faith. And even though I am atheist, they still let me participate. Cool. The interesting part about the cake, however, is that there is a plastic little baby doll on the parts of the cake.
Yeah.
Ew. And if you find the piece that has it, you then get to make tamales for everyone on February 2nd. It says, "Though my family has it set for whenever the gathering is." Okay. It says, "The whole thing revolves around Jesus and when he was born according to Mexican tradition, as well as gifts for children, since Jesus has the wise men bring them gifts." Oh, that's kind of cool. It says, "I am very happy to be a part of this, as there is little to no furry presence where I am part. I'm driving a couple hours to meets or clubs that happen far outside my county. So I look forward to being more active and knowing more about the community through the podcast, which I have found recently. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity and have a Merry Christmas." Awesome. Interesting. That's really cool.
How ironic is this?
That
Our first episode for season 10 is going to be about Hispanic furry.
Oh, it is. That's so funny. That's great.
Yeah. So I'll get in touch with this person and see if they've got any additional things they want to share.
Yeah, for sure.
That is so cool, though.
Maybe
you never knew about the King's Cake, baby?
I was aware of it, and I think it's a little strange because, I feel like that's a choking hazard.
I always thought that the King's... So there's different things. There's King's Cake for that, and then there's also, King's Cake during... What's the event down in New Orleans where they throw beads on you?
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. There you go. Mm-hmm. There's King's Cake for Mardi Gras. Basically, if you find a baby in your slice of cake, you're the one that gets to throw the party for Mardi Gras next year. So there's different versions of King's Cake, but ultimately, yeah, you're right. I'm just what they do though is they don't bake the baby in the cake. They just bake the cake and then they put the baby in it afterwards. Otherwise, it would melt. So.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really good cake though.
Oh, I'll have to try it. A little bit back to the other email. I was curious what the Therian Howl is. It says a howl is a planned gathering of Therians in real life.
Oh,
that cool. Is dope. I want to go.
I just want to go to watch. That'd be really cool.
I want to go and I want to participate. What we doing? Dancing, drinking, partying? I don't know. Let's do it. While we smoking.
Our next email comes from someone named MF, because I'm not going to say their name. It says, "I love your podcast. I've been watching it for over 3 months now. My family doesn't know I'm a furry, so my Christmas traditions are to get a present on Christmas Eve and then open the rest on Christmas Day. So just like our family."
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's a quick question for you. Did your folks on Christmas or around Christmas, did they put the presents under the tree before Christmas Day? Or did you wake up and there was a buttload of presents like Christmas Day?
No, it slowly grew.
Okay.
It slowly grew. There was at one point too that there was another tradition that kind of clashed into is we would put our shoes outside on the doorstep, and then the next morning the shoes would be on the inside of the house, but they'd have candies and treats in them. Guess that's a Dutch thing. It's a Dutch thing.
Cool.
Let me see.
That's neat. I like it.
Okay, so on the evening of Sinterklaas arrives in the Netherlands, children leave a shoe out by the fireplace, sometimes by the windowsill, and sing to Sinterklaas. They hope that Sinterklaas will come during the night with presents. And in this case, Sinterklaas is Sinterklaas. In fact, if you've seen Miracle on 34th Street, you'll notice that Santa Claus actually does sing to a child in Dutch and sings about Sinterklaas itself, which is really cool. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really
I
neat.
like that.
You get the last one. You get the last long one. Woo woo.
I get the last long email.
At least you actually have a name.
Hornet.
Just Hornet J. Hivewing.
Hivewing. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
What a name.
What a name.
Hornet J. Hivewing says, my family does several things during the Christmas holidays. However, there is no set order in which they happen. It says the order is different each year. It says this year we are headed 250 miles south of where we live to see my grandparents, and we'll be spending Christmas there. It says there we do several gift exchanges. First, we do our yearly white elephant gift exchange, during which one person will get the quote-unquote troll. The quote-unquote troll is a figurine, possibly from a movie. That is considered the worst present, because if you end up with it, you must hold on to it till next Christmas, meaning you don't want to get it. So you don't want to get the troll. Next comes the normal gift exchange, where the adults exchange gifts with the person whose name they received to choose a gift from 3 to 4 months prior. That's pretty smart.
That's awesome.
Says the kids get a gift from each family, so aunts, uncles, etc. Says we do Christmas dinner there as well. After we get home, we will have our Christmas there, open presents, watching a movie, all that stuff. Then on the 30th, we will be hosting a Christmas party at our house with the other side of our family. This party is usually held at their grandma's. It says the gift exchange is very similar to the previous one. That's what we have for Christmas traditions in the family. And sincerely, Hornet J. Hivewing. Nice.
That sounds exhausting.
It sounds exhausting, but also it does sound fun. It does sound really fun. Like nice planning 3 to 4 months prior to like Christmas. Like that's good.
That's a lot.
Good on you.
And that's it. That's our emails.
That's it.
That's our emails. Christmas. The next time you guys hear us will be during our newest season, season 10, where we talk about Hispanic furries. As always, if you guys have questions, if you want to send us an email, maybe just to say something to us in private, whatever it is that you want to do, you can reach out to us. Our email is talktothemuzzle@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on Twitter. That is @FromTheMuzzle. And then we also have our Telegram group that you can join as well, and then meet other like-minded furs such as yourself who may share the same ideals that you do, make some new friends, and who knows where that'll go from. And that's where you can find us. And then I'm just going to go ahead and toot my little horn. I have reopened up my Twitter. So if you guys want to follow my personal Twitter, it's @Jedi Knight Space, so KNIGHT space. You'll find just random rantings of all different types of things. So show related, maybe not even show related, but if you're interested, there I am. So don't you have a TikTok or whatever?
I do have a TikTok. I have a TikTok, and I also have I do have a Twitter. However, if you do follow either or, I do recommend that maybe you might be 18 plus. So generally, I usually am pretty family friendly, but sometimes I might post the occasional somewhat questionable content, but I am an adult. I am free to do so. So, by all means, if you want to follow me or say hello, you can find me on Twitter, which, let me get this right. My I think is still the same as my Telegram, which is @SithLordStar. I may or may not change that, but I believe it is my actual name on there is Paradox Hyena. So,
and I'll put our credentials down below so you guys can click on those if you need to.
Yeah. And then
I can't spell that.
That's okay. And then my TikTok, which again, if you want to follow, I have like life updates. I have transitioning updates and whatnot. So hooray. Then just whatever BS I put on there. So that is Varian the Tarnished, because that's my chosen actual IRL name, Varian. So VARIAN, and the Tarnished. And then that's me. Hooray.
Hooray. And thank you again. You guys really make the show possible. No, I don't want to even say that, because that's what everyone says. You guys are special. You make the show the best. But it's true.
Yeah,
you guys
do.
They do, though. You guys really do. You make it fun for us to read these emails at the end of each episode. And you guys really do inspire us to do better and to come up with episodes that you guys want to listen to. So if you have ideas for podcast episodes or you want us to check out someone, a guest, perchance, just let us know and we'll see what we can do to get that arranged. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end of this year, 2023. Going
What
into
a year it's
2024. Jeez Louise. Can't wait.
Hooray.
Election year. Oh, wonderful.
God.
Yay.
Before it gets too depressing on that note, goodness gracious. I'm going to add one more final thing. So obviously, as the year comes to an end, I just want to remind everybody to please be kind to yourself. I know that the holiday season is very rough and, is kind of, the winter blues are an actual thing. So I just want to remind everybody to
I get
please, yeah. Oh, yeah, everybody does. Please be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. It will get better. Please, if you need to reach out to anybody, please do. Please remember to take a deep breath, stay hydrated. And like I said, I'm going to say this one more time. Please be kind to yourself. It'll be okay. And with that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Kwanzaa, Yule, whatever you celebrate. I hope that it's merry and I hope that it's bright.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.